Welcome to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with Rebecca Hall Gruyter. In our program each week, we provide the tools, ideas, and encouragement to help you move ahead on your journey, becoming a more powerful and impactful woman in your own life. Now here's your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter.
Welcome, everyone. I'm honored to have you connecting with us today as we lean in to talk about mindful holiday magic and when healing meets connection, and how do we navigate those things during the holidays. I find sometimes we can feel isolated and alone. How do we connect in and shift that so we feel that deep, authentic connection with others? Perhaps we're struggling with something or working to heal, and that can feel a little bit isolated sometimes during this season. We see all of the lights around us, and we hear beautiful music, and we can sometimes feel a little disconnected, especially if we're on a healing journey. Today, we have two amazing guests. They're both named Amy. I love that. We have Amy Squared today, two Amys leaning in to support us and really understanding how we can connect more deeply, how we can bring that mindfulness, that joy, peace, connection into our lives, into the holiday season, into the new year. It's not something necessarily outside of us that creates that, but we get to proactively bring that forward wherever we are in our journey. And I know you're going to appreciate the wisdom and the insight our guests are going to bring to the table around connection, healing, and really bringing joy, purpose, meaning, mindfulness, true deep connections with ourselves and others as we step forward into the rest of November. I can't believe we are almost towards the end of November. It's almost Thanksgiving. It's moved so fast into the holidays. So I'm very excited for our conversation today, and I want you to be able to get the most out of our time together. And in order to do that, it's really important that you choose, because you have choice, to be present. This is your moment. This is your time. I claim it for you. I encourage you to resist the temptation to multitask and half listen. Really give yourself the opportunity to drink in what is being shared, because you are here on purpose. There's a reason that you have tuned in today. And I want you to be able to drink in, to receive, to take in everything that is here for you. And being present is a big step in helping you do that. The other thing I'm going to encourage you to do is to slow down. There's an acceleration I find that happens this time of year and throughout. It starts happening around September, October, I notice. And it gets faster and faster and more intense. And we start to get pulled a lot of ways in a lot of directions. Lots of things vying for our attention. And as we claim this time for you, I'm going to encourage you just to release all of that right now. You get to slow down. You get to breathe. You get to actually be in a place where you get to receive and be poured into. How beautiful is that? So as you're slowing down, you're pausing, you're breathing, I invite you to actually put both hands on your heart. And take a deep breath in through the nose, all the way to your toes. Even wiggle them. Let's make sure air is getting there. And then breathe out like you're breathing out through a straw. Beautiful. Keep taking those purposeful, mindful breaths in and out. And as you have your hands on your heart, let's go ahead and close your eyes. You're absolutely safe. Just take a moment and notice the beat of your heart. And notice there's a pause in between the beats. Kind of lean into that with curiosity and see, what is your heart sharing with you today? What is it whispering in that quiet space, that still, quiet voice? Sometimes we're too busy to hear. What is your heart whispering to you today? What is it sharing with you to encourage you, empower you? What is it that you need today to support you on your journey? What will help you on your healing journey, on your deep connection journey? What is it you need today, real time, that you are willing to receive, because you absolutely have choice? So, what is it that you need and are willing to receive? Wonderful. Let's take another breath. Open up your eyes. Come back into the room, fully present. I even move my shoulders around a little bit just to make sure I'm really back in my body, tuned in, listening as I take that beautiful air in. And I want you to take a moment and write down what was laid on your heart. What reminder came through, what it is that you need and are willing to receive. And as you're writing that down, I just want you to focus in on that and take another deep breath in, that you're opening up, receiving everything that will serve and support. And then breathe out, releasing that which no longer serves, with gratitude and appreciation, but it gets to leave, creating room and space for more as you write down, bring into reality those things that you need and are willing to receive. And keep that pen handy, or pencil, whatever your favorite writing utensil is. Keep that handy, because I encourage you to take notes throughout our time together today. Write down those things that touch your heart, that touch your spirit, that you want to take action on, that are supportive of what you're looking for today. Let's create a live, interactive experience where you're getting to process, receive, drink in those things that are so supportive of you. Beautiful. We're going to go around our virtual room here and have our Amy's share what was laid on their heart when they took a moment to just stop, pause, and listen. So, Amy McKiernan, thank you. I would love to hear what was laid on your heart.
Yeah, so as we were doing that exercise, I just had like an overwhelming sense of gratitude, you know, and just everything you were saying. You know, I hope that this conversation is inspiring, and I hope that it brings hope and peace to others. And I'm just feeling really grateful to be able to be a part of it today. And that's just what kept coming back to me as I was listening to your voice and listening to your words. So
thank you. Thank you for sharing that. I so appreciate, and I can feel the energy that you have behind that, and the love and the support and the authentic desire coming through to really share with us in that way. And that's such a beautiful way to show up and come forward. Thank you. I appreciate it. And Amy Daughters, what was laid on your heart?
Well, it must be an Amy thing, because I too was feeling as the other Amy, which that's how I've written her down in my notes here. An amazing amount of gratefulness, and almost like a reset to think, you know, I logged on today, but I'm super grateful for the opportunity not only to, you know, share hope with the audience, with the other Amy and you, but to be a part of this process myself personally, you know, to have an opportunity like this today on just, you know, feels like another regular day as we lead into the holidays. So I too am just feeling profoundly grateful.
Beautiful. I love that. The gratefulness, really bringing that hope. And I love that both of you are fully present and ready to participate and share in this time together. I feel like there's something magical when we come together aligned in purpose and intent and showing up with that energy of gratefulness and hope that we get to bring forward and share with the world. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate it. Listeners, how about you? What was laid on your heart? I hope that you're feeling that gratefulness, that support, that peace. And I even feel there's a little bit of an undercurrent of excitement of this opportunity to join together and to connect with all of you and share heart to heart. I'd love for you to take the next few moments. We're getting ready to go to our first commercial break, and choose to stay present and really see what is bubbling up in your heart and your spirit as the Amy's have shared and I have shared. Really take this time to listen, to stay present, and we'll continue our conversation in just 2 minutes.
Follow Voice America at facebook.com/Voice America for juicy updates from your favorite radio shows and podcasts.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
Voice America programs are now available on your favorite connected device, including Amazon, Alexa, and Google Home. Through streams with Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio, listening to your favorite show is as easy as saying the show name followed by the word podcast.
Hey, Alexa, play Finding Your Frequency podcast.
If that doesn't work, try adding on TuneIn or on iHeartRadio or on Apple Podcasts.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at speakertalentsearch.com. That's speakertalentsearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
It's your world. Motivate, change, succeed. VoiceAmericaEmpowerment.com.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you enjoyed those 2 minutes and an opportunity to just be, breathe, and listen. Again, I find we can shift our energy, we can shift even our stress levels and our cortisol levels just by pausing, breathing, and becoming present. And it can shift in 30 seconds and in 60 seconds and 1 minute. And it gives you a chance to catch up with yourself and process things. So we're going to build those moments throughout our show. And I encourage you to lean into them, to use that as time to process, breathe, integrate. So things actually become part of you on a cellular level instead of just on your to-do list. We don't necessarily need a bunch of more things on our to-do list, but giving yourself an opportunity to process real time can just help you really move forward in powerful ways. So I'm going to encourage that. And I'm very excited to go deeper with our guests, and we're going to do that 1 second at a time. And the first guest we're going to go a little bit deeper in is Amy Daughters. And I just wanted to share a little bit of her background. So you have a snapshot of who she is. And absolutely, we have her bio and information if you want to go deeper in the materials that we shared and on the page dedicated to this particular episode. So I encourage you to check that out. But let me give you a snapshot. Amy Daughters is an award-winning author and keynote speaker. She believes the things that make us different are the very things that connect us. She's written over 580 handwritten letters to every single one of her Facebook friends to show you can find deep connections in the most unexpected places. She is passionate about helping you create deeper, meaningful connections. Please lean in. Warmly welcome the powerful and connected Amy Daughters to the show. Welcome.
Ooh, thank you so much. That's a great introduction. I'm very, very enthusiastic. Thank you.
You are welcome, and it's heartfelt. So I'm glad to welcome you in. And I love that you did this. I so often hear people feeling disconnected or that they just are kind of going through the drill and doing social media kinds of things. And I love that you shifted this, that you have formed these deep connections. So I'd love for you to share why your Facebook friends, why handwritten letters.
Right. And I'll try to give you the elevator pitch because this is basically a story that happened to me, Rebecca, when I was minding my own business. So the universe or God, however we want to frame it, came calling, and this is what happened. So I had worked at a summer camp in Texas years ago. I'd met a friend named Dana in 1986. We spent probably 6 weeks together, and we were both loud, and we thought we were funny. So I guess we connected, and we had no contact for 35 years after that, until one day I was minding my own business. I got on Facebook and her name popped into my head. So I typed it in, there she was. So I friend requested her. And since it didn't, there was no sacrifice to be made to friend her. I did that. She must have remembered slightly who I was. She accepted. And then I did the obligatory scroll through her life. I found out right away she had 5 kids. The youngest was the only boy. He had cancer, and it was seriously enough that they were at St. Jude in Memphis, Tennessee. And so I start following along as a mom, as a human being. She asked for prayers, so I did that. But I was completely silent. I didn't like or comment because I felt like that was disingenuous. But I start watching these people's journey. The kid goes to remission, then they go back to St. Jude at the end of that year. And I sat down at my desk. I'm a writer, right, one morning, and I'm like, it's like a lightning bolt hit me in the head. I'm like, you know what I'm going to start doing? I'm going to start sending them handwritten cards to the Ronald McDonald House in Memphis. And this, despite I still had no direct contact with her in any way. I'd never met the kid, but I just felt like this is what I was going to do. And I was so committed. It was almost like otherworldly. So I start sending them notes, for like 14 to 16 weeks. And then unthinkably, tragically, no good words, has nothing to do with me. Parker, the boy, passes away at only 15 years old. So I don't know what else to do. Again, had nothing to do with me, but I was like, I can't just leave her hanging. I wrote her for all these weeks. So I sent a condolence card, and I'm like, I've got to keep writing her. Again, another mini lightning bolt. So I look up her husband's law office address, and I start sending the letters there because I can't message her and ask her home address. And then after about 4 months of me just writing her and, me thinking, what are you doing? This is crazy. She starts writing me back. And Rebecca, we spent 2 years communicating through the U.S. mail. We don't text each other. It was like this sacred space. We don't email each other. And we start sharing, like the letters turn into 10-page letters. We start sharing and trusting each other in a way that makes no sense. And the great thing is, I don't know how she voted. I don't know how she stands on any issue. All I know is I care about this girl. Yes, because she lost her son, but also because I trust her, and we've opened up to each other and have this intimate, tactile, non-intrusive relationship where you don't have to reply to anything anybody else said because the letters are crossing in the mail. Who even knows when anybody's reading anything? So after about 6 months of this exchange with this woman is a stranger to me at this point, except for in the mail, I was like, if all this good can come out of this one random girl from Louisiana, like what about the other 600 people on the list? And this is when I went all world crazy. I bought stationery. I put everybody's name in a box. And I don't really think I was ever seriously thought I was going to finish this thing. But in 18 months, because once I started, I realized this is probably the most important thing I'm ever going to do in my life. And so in 18 months, I wrote almost 600 letters to 600 real human beings living these messy, beautiful lives. And it just blew up my world to the point that now I'm the letter writing lady and I can't shut up about it.
Wow. Well, thank you so much for sharing. And I love that you honored that prompting to, even though maybe it didn't feel logical or whatever, you're compelled to write, to support. And what a beautiful sacred space that opened up for both of you. And now you're opening up that space, that opportunity for connection with so many people, because you're right. These are real people that we have an opportunity to connect with, not just kind of watch and share out, but really form these deep connections. And I love that you have done that. Is there anything that just surprised you in that space, in that journey, as you went on this journey, writing so many letters, so many connections in those 18 months?
Well, there were so many surprises. From as simple as I had assumed so many things about people that were wrong, not because I'm a bad person with bad intentions, but because I had never sit down and individually looked at these people as individual human beings with their own unique story. But I think the biggest surprise, though, Rebecca, was that what was the impact the handwritten letter or note has on a human being in today's age. Like, people were so blown away by the letters. And I told everyone, look, everyone's getting a letter, like the whole list. And people over and over again said, you chose me, you picked me, you'll never know what it meant to me. And the biggest, the number one common thread in the replies was this: I will save your letter in a special place for the rest of my life. And I've come to understand that that's not about me being a writer or me writing letters. It's a tool we all have in our human toolkits. We all have the power to absolutely change the trajectory of someone's day, week, month, year, just by simply writing them a few handwritten lines.
Thank you for sharing that. And I just want to give that a moment to sink in, that we all have that power. We can make that choice. We can choose to reach out. And I feel like some listeners are like, wow, I haven't got a stamp and written a letter in a zillion years. I kind of don't know where to begin. I think we're so used to texting and digital communications. Do you have a tip or a piece of advice to help us be mindful in that intention and connection as we sit down?
Yeah. And that's a great question, because I hadn't written a letter in 30 years when I started doing this. I grew up writing letters to my grandparents at camp, at college, those things. But, it's as simple. And I think the problem with hearing my story, it's overwhelming. 600 letters, letter, the word letter. Let's say the word note. Note is a good word. And my advice to people is go buy 10 stamps or whatever the minimum amount of stamps you can buy at the post office. There's machines now, you can do it. It's super easy. Buy the smallest note card you can at Walmart or Target, and then write 2 lines to another human being. It does not have to be 2 pages, 2 lines. I was thinking about you. I remembered that time that we did this, that, or the other. I was thinking about congratulations on something that, an accomplishment. I'm sorry to hear something. And it doesn't matter how long it's been since the event that you're acknowledging, because people want to be cared about, and there's no timeline for that. And then just write love and your name. That's all you need to do. Put it in the mail and see what happens. And not only see how it'll make the other person feel, but see how it'll make you feel.
Beautiful. And did you find this was a little bit addictive? Like it felt so good. It was fun. You started to write faster and more, drew more names.
Oh yeah. Well, it was adrenaline. And at first I was, because I'm a numbers girl. So I was like, a letter every other day. And then I was 2 letters a day. And then I was like, I was going at, my clip was, 12 letters a week. And it was adrenaline. And the thing is, the surprising part in this transaction, which I alluded to, is that the person who's going to be the most changed, because we assume the person to be the most changed is the person who's receiving these words, but really the person whose perspective on the whole world is going to be changed is the person writing the letters. And so much so that I still write somebody a note every single day and mail it.
Wow. Thank you for sharing. I love this. And what an amazing opportunity we have as the holidays are coming to just take that time out. I mean, it sounds like it's a gift for ourselves. It's a gift for others. And what a beautiful way to bring magic into our lives and connection and purpose. And we get to lead that and really give that gift to ourselves and others. I hear so often, because I do handwritten Christmas cards. And I find so often people, they love receiving them. It's very meaningful to them. And I get beautiful notes and messages back. But a lot of times I hear, well, that's really nice, or that's, I'm so busy, or those kinds of things. But I agree, for me, when I sit down to write that message, I'm thinking of that person and I'm remembering things. And it means so much to me to have that moment that I get to, as I'm writing it, kind of enjoy that connection and put that love into the message as it gets ready to go out into the world. So it's you're right. It's like a gift to me that I look forward to. I actually have them all written. I start early because I get excited. So it's such a wonderful experience, I find, to be able to do that and I have them already lined up to go into the mail at the appropriate time. Yeah. And I enjoy it. So it's not something that's a pressure, a hardship, or difficult. Once I start, I just keep going and love that opportunity to connect.
Right. And you're creating gratefulness on your own part. Like you're looking at those individuals, and then you realize, oh my gosh, these people all mean something. I'm so grateful for them. And there's so much hope in that. And as we rush through the holiday season, and I loved your opening, to slow down, because letter writing or note writing is such a slow down. It's such a function of slowing down, because you have to slow down to do it. But just allowing yourself that moment to slow down and express gratefulness and love to another person, it can change the culture of your entire life. And especially at the holidays, what a gift to someone. I guarantee you that those people are waiting for your Christmas cards, your handwritten Christmas cards. It's like they are at the mailbox waiting for them to come in. And that's just based on a load of experience on my part. But then also you change the whole way you look at the holidays just by this act of what you're doing.
I thank you, because it does. It's part of my way of enjoying and celebrating the holidays. And thinking of them, writing that message. Sometimes it'll tuck a little something in, but it's really a gift to me. And it's part of like putting out lights. It's just part of the holiday experience for me. Thank you for sharing. And as we are looking back on our conversation, I just wanted to see if there is something on your heart, on your spirit, that you want to make sure we share with our listeners today.
Yeah, I would just say this, doing this process of sitting down and writing another human being a note in the age of instantaneous communication, you are going to feel vulnerable. You will feel vulnerable to it. You're like, because I still sit down. I've written hundreds and thousands of letters at this point, and I still sit down and be like, oh my God, I can't believe I wrote a friend today whose father had passed away. And I was like, I got to do better than a note. I said that to myself after all the experience I've had. But if you can jump over the hurdle of vulnerability and the fact that you don't have enough time, you will absolutely begin to change your world and other people's hearts.
I like that. One moment, one note at a time. Thank you so much for sharing, Amy. I so appreciate it. We're going to make sure people have your contact information, and you might get a flood of friend requests, I'm thinking.
That's great.
Which is wonderful. So we'll make sure that you share your contact information towards the end of the show. And thank you. I just appreciate your desire, your heart for connection, your willingness to kind of follow that prompting, even though it didn't make sense to you necessarily originally, and you just kept going. And what a rich, amazing experience it has been. And for you to share that journey with us and kind of pass that opportunity on to us, what a difference that can make when we choose to slow down and start that connection and create that sacred space, that sacred container with those around us. And those we see on Facebook or in other places are real people that we can form connections with and support each other with. And it can just change us ourselves so profoundly and really bring that magic in. Thank you, Amy. I appreciate your sharing. We are getting ready to go to our next commercial break. And as we do so, listeners, I want you to just take a moment and really reflect on what Amy has shared. And perhaps write down one person to 3 people that popped into your mind like, wow, I'd love to connect with them. I'd love to send a note. And we'll continue our conversation in just 2 minutes.
A little birdie told me Voice America is on X. Follow us at Voice America TRN.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at speakertalentsearch.com. That's speakertalentsearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Have you become a member yet? Sign up now to become a member of Voice America. It's always free and easy. Plus, you get to take advantage of some great member benefits. Get unlimited access to millions of hours of on-demand content across all of our channels. Keep track of your favorite episodes, shows, and hosts in your own customizable library. Find out what shows you might be interested in based on your favorites. Plus, you get insider access with our newsletter. Membership gives you more. Sign up at voiceamerica.com and click register at the top right.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
It's your world. Motivate, change, succeed. VoiceAmericaEmpowerment.com.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes. I hope you had 1 to 3 people come to mind. Just that prompting on your heart. Trust it. That, wow, I would really like to connect with that person, or send them a quick note and just let them know how much something meant to me. And, you know, digital's frequently something we do. I think that's a great thing, but the extra credit bonus opportunity here is to slow down and write. And something that's magical I find about writing, it actually connects your heart and hand directly, and you're weaving that into whatever you are writing on. So what a beautiful way to connect, to bring your heart, your mind, your ink into a note that you're going to be sending someone. So I encourage you to take action on those 1 to 3 people, handwritten note, not questioning. You even got a beautiful format laid out to you, what to say and do, to just keep it simple and start that deeper connection. And we would love to hear how that ripples out for you and what happens. So I encourage you to take that action. As we're coming back together, I wanted to bring on our second Amy McKiernan, and she's going to be sharing about something that she's had to overcome, a book that she's written, and really overcoming something very traumatic, and has taken quite a healing journey, and how to kind of do that. And the reason I'm excited to have her on today is we're talking about holidays and these authentic connections, is the healing is so important for all of us to connect fully with ourselves. And for anyone who's going through a challenging time or overcoming something, or even feeling stuck, I wanted you to be encouraged and have hope and know that you can take steps forward to bring that magic and meaning and fulfillment into your life. And that's why I'm very honored and excited to have Amy McKiernan joining us. Now, she's an author of More Than a Survivor. She's a wife, a mother of 2, and she has built her career in education and as the director of employee relations, where she focuses on really creating these positive, nurturing environments for children and adults. Her leadership is a testament to her collaborative problem solving and communication skills. And she's passionate about not just surviving, but really helping you overcome living a fulfilling life and thriving. Please lean in. Warmly welcome the powerful and dynamic Amy McKiernan. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Rebecca.
You are very, very welcome. Excited to have you joining us. And I wanted to start our conversation with why. Why is this work around bringing your book forward and helping people overcome trauma and step into healing? Why is this work so important to you?
And it's been a journey for me, in life, and then even just writing this book.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so important to me to bring this forward because, just like you said, I believe that it's about doing more than just surviving experiences. And my experiences are with, sexual assault. And I believe that there's more than just being a survivor of that. Now, don't get me wrong, there's strength in surviving, for sure.
Yeah.
And I believe that our stories shouldn't end there. I believe that our stories should be about overcoming these experiences and taking back our lives. And I believe that we are all deserving and capable of having peace, strength, and happiness. And that's why I wrote this book. And that's why I want to share it with others. In the book, I don't only go into detail about my own experiences, but I talk about my journey to overcoming them and the keys that I've discovered in order to do so. And, the book I wrote, it's not only about my healing journey, it's about the readers. The reader has access, like to a reflective journal that they can download and visit throughout their reading. And it connects them to their own experiences and to the keys on a personal level. And it's meant to be a transformative and empowering experience for everyone who reads it, because we all deserve to heal and to heal deeply and to take back our lives.
I love that. Take back our lives, take back our power, and really stepping into that hope and peace and joy in the journey. So thank you for sharing. And I'm going to have you talk about your book in a moment. And I just wanted to reflect back to you. Just one, I'm sorry you have gone through what you've gone through. I applaud your courage in not only going on your own healing journey and taking back your power, but stepping forward in such a way that you're leaning back and helping others and giving them a pathway forward in what you're bringing forward to the world. So I just am in gratitude and appreciation of that and the work that you do. And I wanted you to take a moment and share the full title of your book and just a little bit about it. I love that you really have in mind the readers as they read the book. So it's not just kind of sharing from your perspective, but looking at it from there. So I'd love for you to talk about the full title of your book and share about it a little bit more.
Sure. So it's called More Than a Survivor, 8 Keys to Overcoming Sexual Assault and Finding a Path to Living a Fulfilled Life. And, it's for anyone who has experienced sexual assault at any point in their life. It doesn't matter how recent or how long ago your experiences were. This book is for you. And, my book also shares perspectives of my dad and my sister, 2 people who were a part of my own support system, making it a resource for allies to those who have experienced sexual abuse. And I think it's special because it really connects my journey with theirs, highlighting the struggles and learning that not only I went through, but that they went through. And I chose to incorporate those perspectives because one thing I have learned is that leaning on a support system, a community, is so crucial to healing and strength. And not everyone's support community is going to look the same, and that's okay. And so my message to those who are listening is to know that there's a support community out there for you, and that you are worthy of finding it and feeling comfort and peace within it.
Thank you for sharing that, because it is not a solo journey. I don't know where that myth got started. It's just not. It is so important that we have support along the way. And I love that you've included that perspective in what you've created, and even a journal that people can use to support them as they are navigating through, whether it's something that happened recently or in the past. There's still healing that can happen. And I find, especially during the holidays, we can find ourselves triggered in unexpected ways, or we're interacting with relationships or family members or others. Sometimes people are stressed and traveling, so we can just be a little bit more sensitive and noticing things within ourselves, like, wow, I'm reacting to that, or what's going on. Do you have a tip that you can share with us if we're noticing some of those things that can help us take a step on that healing journey?
Yeah. So, thinking about, the theme of the mindful holiday magic, focusing on peace, purpose, and connection is exactly, what I wrote about. And it makes it a really relevant conversation for this time of year, especially just like you said, the holidays often amplify stress and emotional difficulties in general, right? And if you are someone who has experienced trauma and pain, then you know firsthand that the world doesn't stop spinning for you. And this time of year can be especially hard because even if you are deep in your pain, just trying to survive, the holidays still come with all the busyness and overstimulation. And just like you said too, we do feel disconnected and alone, and we feel like we need to suppress our own needs and our well-being, and maybe we shut down completely and can't even allow any of the joy to enter our space. Maybe we think we are undeserving of that. And that's where I want to invite you to give yourself permission to pause. In my book, I talk about the importance of giving yourself a pause and a reset. And it's been mentioned throughout this podcast today as well. So pause from the chaos that this season can bring and focus on your own well-being. I also talk about the power of choice, which has come up today as well. And for those who have experienced, sexual assault, choice is something that was taken from you. And my goal is for you to get the power of your choices back. And when thinking of your theme, realigning with what truly matters and experiencing the holidays with a greater sense of peace, purpose, and connection, power of choice is so important because you get to choose to make healing and healthy connections. You get to realign with what truly matters and allow what truly matters to be you. And you can give yourself permission to feel centered and feel peace and joy this time of year because you are so worthy and deserving of it. So pause. If you need to pause and take all that in.
Thank you for sharing. I love that. So often as I'm talking to people, they start to list all the things that they're busy doing. And I know that I myself have at times felt excitement and pride in all the things I'm getting done and pushing through. And pushing myself to exhaustion. And I don't know why that was something I was proud of, the list and all of the things. And I've learned that I'd rather be present in the things I am doing and am saying yes to. And I don't want to miss the magic of what is happening and the connections and the conversations. And I talk to people, and sometimes I hear them saying when they might be, proud of the list and the exhaustion, how little sleep they got, sharing that as a badge of honor. Other times it's like, I just need to push through. I just need to do this. And then I can have this, I can relax. And I want to encourage what you're saying is perhaps relax first and then do. Perhaps pause and really be present in what feels good and nourishing for you. And then you can do all the things from that place of fullness versus depletion. And then we're able to be more of who we are and really claim that. Now, I wanted to also take a moment because I definitely want your people to be able to lean into your book. We'll share how to find it in our final segment, but I'd love for you to share the cover because this is an audio show. So then they have a visual that, they can look for when they go to look for your book.
Yeah. Just some notes on the cover. I really love the cover of my book. I get a lot of comments on it. And I have to give a shout out really quick to my friend and colleague, Allison Grieveson, because she designed it for me. Mm-hmm. And she asked me how I wanted it to look. And I honestly had no idea. I didn't know how to capture the message of healing so deeply that you are stronger and happier and just how valuable you are. And she came up with the design because it reminded her of kintsugi, which is the Japanese art of repairing broken pottery and filling the cracks with gold. And the pottery is considered stronger, more beautiful, and more valuable than before because it's formed through suffering. And that concept was so powerful, and it represented what my book was about, so well. And so it's very meaningful. The cover, it's meaningful. It represents, the strength in healing. So thank you, Wilson. You're amazing and so talented. I love you. But yeah, it's really beautiful.
And so can you just describe it? So I love that concept has gone into it. Are there certain colors, visuals?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's blue pottery, and the cracks are mended, but it's mended with gold in the background. And so they're highlighted, but they're beautiful, and also the representation that it is considered stronger and more beautiful and more valuable. Even though it was broken once, it's put together in a strong, glorious way. Yeah. And that really shows just by looking at the book, you can see those cracks mended, and right on the cover.
I love that. And what a beautiful reminder. Yeah, it's just gorgeous. And what a important reminder for all of us that those quote unquote scars, seen or not, actually are part of what makes you unique, powerful, and beautiful. They're a testament to what you've come through. And there's great beauty and strength in how you get to be put back together and show up in the world. And those are things to embrace and lean into versus hide or try to pretend aren't there. I think there is great beauty and respect and honor in the cracks being mended and put back together. So, Amy, thank you so much for sharing. I really appreciate it. And again, your courage and your willingness to show a pathway, show steps that we can take in a very real way to move forward, to take our power back and to step forward with joy and peace and fulfillment in our lives. I so appreciate it.
Thank you, Rebecca.
Absolutely. We are getting ready to go to our next commercial break. So take a moment and really digest some of what Amy has shared, see what's speaking to your heart and spirit, and then make sure to have your paper and pen ready because we're going to make sure you know contact information, some valuable tips in our next segment. We'll continue in just 2 minutes.
Voice America is on LinkedIn. Connect with us today.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
You need to live up to your full potential. You've heard that for years, but now there's a channel to help you get there. Introducing the Voice America Empowerment Channel. Our listeners have told us that they want to be motivated, hear about success stories, and positive encouragement around the clock. And we've responded to you. The Voice America Empowerment Channel is the home of the world's top life coaches, entrepreneurs, and success experts. Listen to the Voice America Empowerment Channel. It's here at voiceamericaempowerment.com.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at speakertalentsearch.com. That's speakertalentsearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Find out what makes the most successful people tick. Keep listening to the Voice America Empowerment Channel. voiceamericaempowerment.com.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes and that opportunity to really drink in what serves, what's sparking your heart and spirit. And I'm going to encourage you at the end of our time together today that you get to take a moment for you. There's the to-do list. There's all the different things that we're doing and we're bringing forward. But take those few minutes for you before you just rush out into the day. The day doesn't get to be in charge. You do. And choose what you're going to take forward. What is a step that is supportive of you today? What is a connection that you want to bring forward? Take a few moments to really drink that in and see. And I also find sometimes people lean into our show and they're like, wow, well, I would love to share as well. I'd love to connect with the following that Rebecca has and the followers of Empowering Women, Transforming Lives. And I wanted to let you know how to do that. I get reach out sometimes. So I had that on my heart to share because that's another connection that we can make and we can amplify out. So for those of you, again, write this down, that are interested in connecting deeper and exploring being an amazing guest on our show, I want you to send me a quick email, just a couple lines, to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com, Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com, and we'll be happy to connect you with the steps in that process for those of you who feel that pull and that call. We are really here to help you make those connections and echo positive, supportive, transformational insight and resources out into the world. So I thank you for those who lean into that opportunity. And as promised, I want to make sure you're able to connect with our amazing guests and go deeper. And as they share their contact information, I want you to write it down. There's a reason we're providing it. It's not just for drill. It's really to help you have that connection and opportunity to go deeper with our guests. So I'm going to start with Amy McKiernan. Amy, would you share your contact information, the full title of your book, where we can get it, and if you have a final tip for us, I'd love to hear.
Yeah, so you can visit my website, amymckiernan.com, and that's where you can find links to my Instagram and Facebook pages. And you can subscribe to my email list. And when you do, you'll receive a free excerpt of one of my keys for my book. The book's full title is More Than a Survivor, 8 Keys to Overcoming Sexual Assault and Finding a Path to Living a Fulfilling Life. And you can find it on Amazon. You can find it on Book Baby Bookshop. And you can also check out your local bookstore. And one, thing to leave you with is, putting things back together when they are broken can feel so big and so overwhelming. And today we talked a lot about, choice and the power of choice. And so I encourage you, if you're feeling overwhelmed and don't know where to start by making one small choice toward your healing and toward your own overcoming. Just start there, and more will come.
Beautiful. Thank you. I love that. Baby steps count. We can take.
Oh, they sure do.
Yeah. Beautiful. But that power of making that choice is so creates such a powerful ripple in our lives. Thank you so much for sharing today. I appreciate it. And listeners, I encourage you to connect in and go deeper. And I'd also love, Amy Daughters, if you could share your contact information and the best way for people to connect and go deeper. And if you have a final tip you want to leave us with, I would love that as well.
Yeah, great. The best way to find me is also my website, amydaughters.com. The books are on there, the speaking information, some background. And then the best part, Rebecca, my mailing address is on there. So if anyone wants to write their first note to me, I guarantee you I will write you back for sure and be delighted when I receive your note in the mail. But also my email's on there. If you want to connect about, the letter writing, the note writing, you have questions or ideas or stories, I'm super excited to connect with anyone individually who's listening about this topic or anything else you can come up with. But my final walk-away tip is to trust yourself in the note and letter writing, because the number one rule in letter or note writing is that there are no rules. It meets your personality right where you are. All you need to participate in this, friends, is 78 cents, about 15 minutes of your time, and a sincere human heart. That's all you need to make someone else feel valued and seen.
Beautiful. Thank you, Amy. I appreciate it. And I hope people lean in and take advantage of that opportunity to connect and have that, an easy first step of writing that first note and getting that connection going. Thank you so much for your generosity of time and spirit and that opportunity to help people connect. And I like that. There are no rules. I love that ties into choice. Just that sincere heart that you get to step forward in. So thank you for sharing. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you so much.
Absolutely. And listeners, thank you for leaning into our conversation today. I hope you take those few moments for you. That is a choice, by the way, that you're getting to make already as you look at how you're going to step forward and those things, baby steps you're going to take as you choose how to step forward and navigate through the remainder of your day and week and holidays. I hope that you have an amazing day. Remember that you are valuable. There is no one else just like you, absolutely needed in the world, just as you are. And the greatest gift you can give is more of you. Be willing to be seen. Be willing to bloom where you're planted and shine. Share the gift of you out into the world, one heart, one note, one sentence at a time. Have a great week, everyone, and we'll talk to you next time.
Thank you for joining us this week for Empowering Women, Transforming Lives. Please tune in again for another edition with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter, next Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Pacific, on the Voice America Empowerment Channel, with a replay on Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern and 1 p.m. Pacific on the Voice America Variety Channel. Have a beautiful week, and may you always bloom where you're planted and shine.